So I just wanted to show you out rotary hoeing today. See, old 6-row rotary hoe, and it runs pretty much right on the row. It breaks up. You can see there's a bean trying to poke through right there. Yep. This will break up that top crust. That bean will survive now. You got to get out here within about a week of planting them. There's another one. You can see there's some misses where it was crusty. I got the 560 pulling it. Also, it helps with some weed control. You can see the grass is pretty thick in here. It beats the crap out of it at the very minimum, but like some of these littler ones, it'll flip them up like this guy. See, its roots are all out now. Hopefully that one will dry out and die, so it will kill quite a bit. You can see I slowed down here. It doesn't throw as much dirt when you slow down. From what I understand, you just run fast with the rotary hoe. But you can see I got all that done, and it's kind of a noticeable difference. Definitely greener, grass is taller where I haven't done it versus where I have. And it's not gonna kill it all, but it's gonna help. And then in about a week, I'll probably be out here with the cultivator, field cultivate. Like, it's not gonna kill this grass, it's got root system, but that grass is right in the row, in between the two rows. So the cultivator will rip that up. I might go over it twice. I might give it a day and then come back out with it and go over it again. I don't know, I gotta do a little bit more research before I decide that. But you can see this thing, it's old, beat up, missing a rotor there. It's missing a whole gang there. If I remember right, we hadn't used this thing in 20 years. Sat in a fence row. A tree grew up around that one, and when we pulled it out a couple years ago to try to do some aeration with it, it ripped that off. So it's not ideal, but it's doing something. It's helping out, and if it works good, who knows, maybe I'll go get one that's a little bit better shape. Pick one up on an auction somewhere. There's quite a few around here from when people used to actually rotary hoe and then cultivate their beans. Now everybody either rolls them or does nothing and just sprays them. They got a lot better tillage that breaks up the soil a lot better now, so the beans don't have as much trouble emerging. But in theory, this should help with the emergence and a little bit of weed control. So it's gonna be hard to show you much without my GoPro, because I'm trying to stay on the row at 8 miles an hour. But I'll try to get you a little bit of action of the disc back there. Rotary hoe. you ever need to pick up trash and wire out of your field, don't even worry about it. Just get you a rotary hoe, go run across it. It looks greener looking down the rows. When you're actually out there, you can see some of the weeds are ripped up. They're kind of laying sideways. So a lot of them are going to survive, but some of them are going to die, so that'll help. We'll see what it looks like after it dries out. I don't think there's rain in the forecast for another 2-3 days. But got it all done once. This thing pulls hard. I did not expect it to pull hard. But 560 in fourth gear, it's all at once when you're actually running it in the ground deep enough to do anything. But 560 will still do it. Okay, so got a new shovel out here for the cultivator. Got one bolt started. I think this one's going to be too long. I know this one isn't a plow bolt or a shovel bolt or whatever you want to call it. It's got the wrong head. But for how few of acres I'm going to be doing, it should work. There'll just be a little bump sticking up. I don't think that little bump will cause a problem. Might wear off sooner, but that'll be all right. I'm going to have to pick this up. And then I'll get it tightened down. So, I liked what the rotary hoe did. And I said if I seen one on an auction and it went cheap, I was probably going to pick one up. Well, I picked one up. It's in pretty good shape. Everything looks good on it. Definitely stored inside for its life, it looks like. Doesn't look like there's a ton of wear on the actual discs, whatever you want to call them. Picked up a trash pump. My brother got some weights and a bolster. But I'm going to get this unloaded. I got my brother's 560. And then I'm going to see if I can hook my 560 up to it and probably go rotary hoe my soybeans. They've been out, they got planted 2 weeks ago. So it's probably about the last chance to want to rotary hoe them. But I'm going to get it unchained. Brought it home from the auction the other day. Didn't have time to unload it yet, so unchain it, hook up, and get it off the trailer. All right. Just gonna drive it up here around this bend. Then I'll go get my 560 and try hooking it up. But that was easy enough. So that was another thing I picked up on that auction. Oliver grain drill. So I don't have anything to plant with it right now, but I'm sure that'll be making an appearance on the channel eventually. Maybe when I put in the cover crop, I'll plant the wheat with it. It's got a grass seeder on the back. It's gonna take a little work to get it going, but I think we can get it going. I'm gonna go hook up to this rotary hoe. I was gonna field cultivate. I had this hooked up to the cultivator, but I want to try out the rotary hoe. And I planted the beans 2 weeks ago, and and I think they'll still be fine if I rotary hoe them. And it'll kill some weeds actually in the row, anything that's germinated over the last week. And then next weekend I'll probably be out actually cultivating them. I'll have more time next weekend, hopefully. We worked 6 days at work this week, so only one day off. Alright, so I got the rotary hoe hooked up. I fixed it up just high enough. Probably got 4 inches of clearance off the ground going down the road, so don't have to worry about it hitting or anything. It's got the nice guard on it there, so I won't be getting hit in the back of the head if it picks up a corn stalk root ball or something. So that'll be nice. I know it's meant to keep from breaking the back window out of your cab, but I don't have that problem here. And I'm gonna go see what it does. I put it in the ground just going across the field. There's a little patch between the sweet corn and the soybeans over there that doesn't have anything in it right now. Probably gonna get seeded down to wheat here pretty soon, but seem to be doing a pretty good job. I wasn't going fast enough for it, but we'll see how it does. Okay, so if anybody's wondering if it's even doing anything good, you can see there's still weeds in there. It's mainly that grass. I wish I would have got that grass killed off a lot better than I did before planting, because now I'm going to be battling it for a while. But you can see the rows of beans now, versus over here you can see there's a lot more grass, a lot greener. This, you can actually see the rows of beans. A lot of that small grass is getting killed. As I'm going along, I can actually watch it throw grass up. So it's cutting the grass off, throwing it up. Some of it's actually grabbing the roots and throwing it up. So it is doing quite a bit of good. I'm half done now, but I think it's doing more good than harm. Yeah, on occasion it'll kill a bean because you get off the road just a tiny bit and one of those will grab a bean and rip it out. But for the most part, the bean roots are deep enough that this is not really beating them up too bad. Beans kind of like to be beat up a little bit anyways. We'll see how they come out of it. Like say I'm just doing 5 acres here, and then if everything goes good, maybe I'll come out here and actually start cultivating in the middle of the week rather than waiting until the weekend to get ahead of some of this grass after I just beat it up, ripped it apart. And then I think the beans will start actually growing good enough that they'll shade some of that grass out, hopefully. But I'm gonna keep going. It's gonna be really hard for me to get you much video because I'm going as fast as I can and trying to stay on the row without running over a row. So it's kind of hard to pay attention to that and film, but I'll try to get you a little bit of video. So here's something cool I noticed when I was going across the field. You can see this bean. I think it just emerged last week where these came up when they were supposed to. But this is when I actually went over with the rotary hoe the first time. And I assume it broke that crust and got this one out. I noticed quite a few spots. There was like 4 or 5 beans in a row that hadn't emerged. And then the rotary hoe actually helped them emerge. So there's quite a bit of that. You can see these are the beans that were planted at a more conventional time, springtime. And then these are the ones that I'm rotary hoeing now. And they were double cropped behind winter wheat. Then you can see these. Actually, it looks like a deer might have ate those off, but I did notice quite a few where it looked like they'd just emerged. These beans are getting a little bit taller. Little flower there. Hopefully they get taller. It was dry when they were growing, so they got a lot of growing left to do. Looks like the weeds are pretty well killed off. There's a few starting to come back in the rows. But I'm probably gonna have this sprayed again, and I'm gonna attempt to not have this sprayed. We'll see if I can get the weeds under control with the cultivator. If not, I'll have them sprayed just with these on their second round. And hopefully these beans produce. I know it's pretty late and they're pretty little, but hopefully we have a little bit longer growing season this year. Doesn't get a frost early and they'll produce something. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Stay tuned for cultivating next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, have a good one.